Does branding mean having a professional logo? What does branding mean and how do I do it? We will answer these two questions in today's video. First of all, let's make it clear. Your logo does not mean your brand, nor your brand identity or your branding. Actually, the logo represents less than 10% of your brand. Just before we jump into the topic, let me just tell you that these four terms, logo, brand identity, and branding, are very different. Each term has different purpose and has different definition. However, all of them are very essential for your business growth. So let's start and let's discover how we really can use them to build a very successful business and how we can really understand the meaning of each one. Brand is the way your consumer perceive your product or your service. It's the emotional connection you make with your audience through brand assets like logo, typography, color, message, etc. A brand is the consumer perception, and it includes all the feelings, emotions, expectations, decisions of the consumer towards your product or your service. To understand this more, I will give you an example of Coca Cola. Coca Cola has been around for more than 130 years and beloved by millions of people all over the world. In 1985, the company attempted to change the formula, which impacted the emotional connection that the company has built with its consumers over such a long period. And the consumers' reactions toward the new formula forced the company to change its decisions for fear of losing the loyal customers. While brands are the consumer perceptions, branding is the way you want to be perceived. It works as a verb which describes the how you will communicate your message, how you will communicate about your vision, and how you want to reach your target audience. In other words, it is the marketing strategy you planned to create the bonds between the company and the consumers. This strategy includes your brand promise, target market, your brand personality, and your value proposition, what makes you unique. If you have any questions about how you can build your marketing strategy, feel free to drop a comment. I would love to answer all your inquiries. Now, what is a brand identity? A brand identity is also confused with a brand's logo, while that is not true. Actually, a brand's logo can be considered as a part of what constitutes a brand identity. It is actually the way your brand presents itself, like the logo, tone, typography, colors, etc., etc. It's the brand expression. And what we mean by brand expression is the collection of all visual and verbal brand assets that portray a desired image and tell a meaningful consumer story. It is what forges the connections between you and your consumers. It is how branding comes into life. And guess what? The key to any successful brand identity is consistency. The more you are consistent, the more your audience will memorize around who you are and what you can offer them. The best example of brand consistency is the sports giant Nike. Most of people could quote Nike's simple slogan without even thinking about it, even if they are not consumers of that brand. Just do it is the slogan that Nike has been using for over 15 years now. If you will compare it to Reebok, we will find that Reebok changed its slogan over 14 times since 1987. As you can see, thanks to Nike's brand consistency, the company has the lion's share of the sports shoe market. And this is thanks to the brand identity consistency. If you want to succeed, you have to be consistent with your brand identity. If we take another example of Instagram, we will find that Instagram, they changed their logo a lot of times. However, they kept the key element of the camera. This key element is what will make them different and what will help the consumer to remember their brand and what will help the consumer to build emotions with the brand. So it's okay if you want to change sometime your logo, but you have to keep your identity consistent. Now, to sum it all up, The role of branding is to translate your company's mission, vision, and values into a compelling brand identity that resonates with your customers, creating a powerful brand that builds long-term relationships. Now you have strong understanding of how brand identity, and branding work together to create and build powerhouse brands that connects with your customers. So stop focusing only on your logo and start taking the right approach. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to support me by liking and subscribing, and see you next time with a new video.